Yo, what is going on, guys? This is Jacked YGO here today, coming at you with updated DDD deck profile for October 2021 list. Before I get into this, guys, I forgot to mention this in the last few videos, but keep in mind, once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll be giving away this mat. So the Magician's Souls mat, I think, I don't know. Only played with it once. It's just been stored in my closet, and this will also be given away. So this is packed fresh, untouched Ulti Hulk. Ulti Hulk, this channel wouldn't be a thing if there wasn't Ulti Hulk. So I decided I will be giving that away with the mat once we hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you guys are watching this and you haven't subscribed, why not subscribe, eh? Like, you know, I don't push the subscribers too much, but I don't like pushing subscribers and likes. I think that's cringy, but like this is just a good way for the channel to grow by like doing like a giveaway thing. So whenever we hit 1,000 subscribers, guys, I'll do a video, and then I'll say I'll make that video, and then you'll have to comment on that video, and once you comment, you're entered. I'll write you down, and then I'll do like a draw, and I'll film the draw like in another video, you know what I mean? So it's pretty cool. This is Jacked in Japanese. I did a clothing brand like back in 2018 or something. Did pretty well with it. So yeah, maybe I'll release some more. I've always been asked if I'll release any more stuff. Maybe I will. I don't know. Maybe I'll make it like Yu-Gi-Oh related too. So that'd be pretty cool. Maybe when the channel gets a little more popular. But yeah, Jacked apparel. So that's literally what this is. Jacked in Japanese. Jacked YGO. So anyways, guys, now that that's over, done with. This is going to be the list. I think a lot of you guys have been waiting for the October 2021 ban list. No one cares about the ban list. What people care about is that Crossout Designator came out. Now, it's a bit weird right now, right? Because Crossout Designator is going to really change the way people build decks, including me right now. It's really gave me a challenge to build my deck, and I do play it differently now. With my ratios being different in like the side deck especially too, right? Just because Crossout can literally shut out anything. But the main thing is Bode Burst of Destiny, for anyone who doesn't know, will be coming out on the 22nd of October, and Synchro Storm will be. That's what's really going to warp the format, because a lot of really good decks and good support is coming out of that. I think it's just going to completely change the meta and just power people a lot of things. With Phoenix and Force are coming out, guys, that's going to be a card I'm 100% playing with like the Destiny Fusion and stuff. So that's really what's going to be able to it's going to take a while for the format to fully shape, so you can clearly tell what you're playing. For now, this is like a fresh format, so I'm still trying to figure out what the best decks are when I'm deck building, and what like my targets for Crossout and stuff should be. When I get into the profile, I'll go over like what's subject to change, possibly with like the hand traps I'm running for Crossout, as you know, we do need to max out for consistency on our pieces, but we also need to have at least some targets for Crossout, right, to stop like Nibiru, Imperm. I'll get into more of that like in the actual profile, but Crossout's huge for our deck, because even though we did have talents, we had really good responses previously with 3 talents, 1 Call By, and 1 Instant Fusion. All 5 of those are actually really good going second too. And Instant Fusion was also a way to summon Millennium Eyes, which is level 1. Which allowed you to just, if you had a Wear Off value, it allowed you to search a Kepler, and then you just normal summon the Kepler. So it was like a free, really synergized level of the deck. I'll spoil a little bit. I'm actually not playing it right now because I wanted to see what was more powerful. Like when it came down, like you'll see in my deck profile, I kind of get into things a bit before I even get into the cards, right? But like not much to be said here. I mean, I brought it to locals, and I got a really good feature match for you guys coming up on Friday. We didn't do one last Friday because it wasn't us, it was some guys that are locals, but it just didn't upload. David couldn't upload it. He has a brand new phone, he couldn't figure out why, but regardless, good feature match Friday coming out. It's me piloting DDD. Anyways, yeah, I think you guys are going to really like that, but I think you guys are also going to be really looking forward to the deck profile, so I'm not going to keep talking. I'm just going to dig right into this deck profile. It's also a little bit late. I kind of want to go to bed. So, yeah, let me just dig right into this deck profile, guys. I hope you guys are going to like this. See you a bit. Okay, guys. So, let's just dig right into this deck profile. Cool thing about this, This is back from when 2009 or something. I had some leftover sleeves that I found just in bulk. Double sleeved them. Turns out they're still pretty good. These are Queenie Chan sleeves. Not even sure like if they're magic or what. But these are pretty cool sleeves. I just found them 15 in my bulk and took a little bit to find, but I found all of them and I was dedicated and I was like, yo, this is sick. So yeah, I used these back in like 08, 09 when I was still in like grade school. So yeah, that's my extra deck sleeves for this format. They're Ultra Pro, so yeah. Pretty cool. So let's go right into the, let's start something cool actually. So for now on, anytime I do deck profiles until I hit 1,000 subscribers, Ulti Hulk will be part of my giveaway. Like I said, this channel would never be a thing if Ulti Hulk was never printed, so yeah. So let's just get right into this, guys. So standard lineup. So triple Kepler. You know what? I'm actually gonna have to take Hulk out. So let's just say whenever I do combo videos, alright? I'll use the Hulk Field Center because it kind of takes up a little bit of space. So 3 Kepler, 3 Swirl Slime, 3 Necro Slime, and 3 Lamia. 3 of, so this is a 3 of I'm playing. I think this is very standard. We'll never, like, as long as I'm playing combo, this is pretty well just gonna be the standard ratios. Like, I mean, this is all, these 4 cards are all part of your main combo. This included can be part of your main combo. Like I said, this like chain blocks for a Ghost Bell, right? If people are playing Ghost Bell, stuff like that, right? So Copernicus is pretty important, especially late game, just foolishing stuff. Foolish is an extra piece. Like it can do so many things, right? Sometimes it clogs, it's whatever, but yeah, and then these, like there's not much to say about them. I mean, it's the bare bones of your deck. You should never cut those down, so yeah, that's a standard 15 you should be playing in the deck. Make some more room here. So yeah, I don't think those should be cut any less. For the 2 ofs, going double Ragnarok. So I like Ragnarok at 2. I'm gonna keep him at 2. I think it's great, just because, like I said, if you Tribal is still gonna be running around like quite a bit in the format, I believe. Like I said, the format's still very open. There's a lot of decks running around it, but Tri-Brigade will for sure be running around, obviously. So yeah, one of the mainly played decks, anyways. So double Ragnarok's good to have because if you hard draw Ragnarok with a fusion, instantly turns off Revolt. They can't really do much about it if they don't have. If you turn off an Appaloosa or they just don't have it, their Revolt's shut out. It's huge, and yeah, it's just this card at 2 is just great. It's also, like I usually say, it's a great extender and a great way to just kill your opponent. It's also level 8, which comes up, so I'll tell you why when I get to the extra. And so we're doing a count of 19, 20. So we're doing 20 monster count pretty much. I mean, this is technically a DDD card, so I'm playing the Adhara now. You'll see more of my package. I'll explain it further in as I go. But Orthros, Ghost, Adhara. I have been playing Ghost for a while at 2, but now that I have some tuners to work with, like Adhara's another tuner, and I just don't have room to play the second Ghost. I would if I did, but Orthros is like a normal summonable tuner. You never want to special summon him, yeah, he's also a normal summonable tuner to like summon Hulk and stuff, so it's not too bad. So having the 1 Ghost is pretty good. When I get into my spell count, you'll probably see why I'm just playing the 1 Ghost. I think it works perfectly fine. It's a searchable card, and I usually just want to summon it off Hulk, right? But it's also great to open because it's a resource management card, so yeah. And Adhara's just here because it triggers War of Thou, stuff like that, right? And I'll show you more when I get into it. So that's a 20 monster count. There is a couple more monsters, but you'll see why I'm holding off on them for a bit. So spell counts, triple gates, 1 Swamp King. This has never changed on me. Always been the same. Swamp King is just, you can play it at 2 like I always say if you want. It's preference. I'll just play it at 1, so yeah. But don't play less than 3 gate, please. So we're going triple Jack in hand, triple Where Art Thou. So that's what I'm telling. So I think, so that's where the Adhara comes in, right? So that's the only reason why I'm playing Adhara is because Adhara special summon will trigger the Where Art Thou, and Jack in the Hand, this is a card to reveal because, like I say, usually the good players will take the Kepler. So if you need access to Kepler, they don't realize that if you have Jack in the Hand and Where Art Thou, but you need access to a Kepler, they don't realize that if they take the Kepler, and you take an Adhara, you're actually plussing a lot more because this is a free tuner, and then this is special summons, and then Where Art Thou, since you have the level 1, searches your Kepler, right? And like I said, this is just a level 1 tuner, which just works really well on the deck. So I decided to play it. This tournament, for some reason, out of all 4 matches that I just played yesterday at my locals, I never drew Where Art Thou, Adhara, and Tactics. I don't know why, I just never did. So I wasn't really able to actually test this stuff out. In Jack in the Hand, I was always able to grab the piece I needed, so I never actually needed Adhara. Also because I didn't have Where Art Thou in my hand. So yeah. So going forward, I think Desires is just not going to be a played card in this deck. Mainly because now we have Crossout and we need to not banish certain cards for Crossout. But also in the future, once Bode is released and Burst of Destiny, and the Destiny Hero card comes out, Phoenix Destroyer or Enforcer, whatever, Destroyer Enforcer, whatever it's called. That card is, I think, just going to knock Desires out of the game. It will be played. Desires will obviously be played in certain decks, but this deck, I don't think moving forward I'll be playing Desires. This works out perfectly fine. I mean, I like digging with Allure and stuff and Desires, but this works perfectly fine, and this will be, I think this will be more relevant too once we get the Phoenix, in about 2 weeks we get the Phoenix Enforcer package. So yeah, but for now I'm testing this, it works fine. I definitely give it a shot if I were you guys, but with Crossout I think it's also kind of necessary to play that too, right? So, and here we go. So triple Crossout, yep, I'm playing 3, no less. I was able to get my hands on 3. And Tactics and Callboy. So these are our answers to hand traps. So Crossout Designator, I actually bought 1 tin. Same as last year, I bought 1 tin and pulled the money card, the Dragoon. This year I bought 1 tin, pulled Designator. Someone at my locals gave me a pretty good price for 2 of them. So when I went to locals Tuesday or yesterday, I was able to get the last 2. So Crossout Designator, it only really came up in 1 or 2 of the matches. It came up actually really good. Yeah, 2 of the matches. The feature match, it came up the most. Crossout was just crazy in that match. It was a good representation of the new cards, aka Crossout. Talents. So I decided. So the reason why I'm playing 6 answer to hand traps, it doesn't clog. I at least see 1. And if I open like any of these, like Crossout or Callby with the talents, it's just crazy, right? Because I usually do have enough to combo off. But Crossout, having 6 cards is really great because I'm not playing draw power cards anymore. So before I played like a 38 card deck because of the Upstart and the Into the Void, but now I'm playing a 40 card deck that doesn't have any draw power. So having 6 cards, I see it as much as I used to with like Desires and Allure and stuff. So, and this is, I think Talents is just still such a good card to play. Playing like Talents is just nuts. It's just a god card. For some reason, like I said, I didn't draw this all tournament. I don't know why, especially with like it was just weird. I never really seen like 3 cards in my deck not see play. But yeah, Talents is just a crazy card. It's never failed me. Whenever I open this card, I just your win rate goes up so high, man. And it's just if you call by your Designator like a hand trap, like an Ash or something, and you just trigger Talent, it's literally game over. Like it's just too good. Going second Talents is great too, right? So yeah, 6 answers to hand traps. We don't die to an Ash Blossom anymore, that's for sure. And then I'm gonna go. I'll keep the Crossouts out here because I have one more thing to show. So I'll keep the Crossouts here, and then our targets for the Crossouts, we're going 1 Imperm, 1 Ash, 1 Nib. So it really depends. So this is subject to change. It really depends. I think I'm kind of going in this blind. Like it really depends. It's hard to say what Nib. I don't know if people will be maining Nib, but I feel like a lot of people will just because they lose. If you're playing against a deck that doesn't want to play against Nibiru and they play Crossout, then if they have Nibiru, then you can just cross it out with Crossout, right? But the reason why I'm only playing 1 and 1, like 1 of each, is because I really just don't have the space to play like 4, like a second Ash or anything. Maybe in the future I'll go like 2 Ash, 2 Imperm. I only own 1 Imperm right now, but it's also part of the reason why I'm not playing like Desires and stuff. For 1, I don't have the room to play the Desires and the Allures. But 2, I'll almost always be able to use Crossout to get rid of an Imperm or a Nib or an Ash. And if I draw them, I mean, they're good cards to draw, right? So it's whatever. But yeah, this could be subject to change. I think Ash is just going to be staying in the main deck because I think everyone's just going to be playing Ash. It really depends what people what it warps to be, what people are going to be playing for Crossout. It's hard to say right now, right? But these are the cards that our deck card loses to. Ash, not so much. It's more like a Ghost Bell is more threatening, honestly, but I don't think anyone's really main decking a Ghost Bell. But Nib and Imperm are huge. Like, they're the two biggest ones because we don't really have an answer to Imperm unless we already have our Big Genghis out. So yeah, these are great cards to just make sure Crossout gets rid of. And you can also set this so if you have like your full combo where you can lock them, you can just flip Crossout, get rid of and they try to Imperm your Hulk in the standby phase. You can just Crossout, get rid of Imperm, then you're just for sure getting your auto lock, right? Like with the Calamities plays. So yeah. So for now, like I said, just the 3. They're basically just targets, but like I said, if I draw them, it's good. And then Nibiru is also a card that I can banish off Chaos Road to revive itself. So really not that bad at all. And it just really worked for me during the tournament too. Came up quite a few times. So yeah, for now that's how it's going to stay. And then the last one is 1-for-1. So lots of explaining to go on. That's a 40 card deck. Lots of explaining because I have new ratios going on here, and it's basically what I kind of want to show you guys what I'm playing for, you know, Crossout and stuff coming out. Like I said, I do still play Talents. I kind of hovered over actually why I'm playing Orthros. Orthros is just, again, I think trap decks are going to be in the format, and it's kind of seen with all the top decks. There's a lot of trap decks running around. So I think having the searchable card to just pop a stupid floodgate is pretty good. Someone has IO, you can't do anything about it. Just go to the next game. If someone flips IO, I think that card should have been banned. That really sucks, but whatever. But Orthros is just a great card to search out and just pop. It's really in here just because there's probably trap decks running around, right? So yeah, that's a 40 card solid main. Working really well for me lately. Not bricking at all. I mean, DDDs can brick occasionally, but I mean, as everyone knows, but you know. So yeah. Fusions, double Genghis, 1 big Genghis. This is standard. You can play Diarch if you have the room. I kind of have room, but I kind of want to try some flex spots. Diarch's like a really random like flex spot. I think there's other utility toolbox cards you could use over it, and I never thought I needed a Diarch really ever. So I'm not playing the Millenniumize Restrict. Millenniumize is actually right here. I'll just put it in the frame. So I'm actually not playing Millenniumize Restrict. As good as this card is, I think I'd just rather be playing the card like the Designators and the Talents. You never know, I might just put this back in one day, but I think if once Bode is released, I don't think I'll have the room to play it, so with the Phoenix Enforcer and stuff. But yeah, shoutouts to this card. If you guys still want to play the Restrict with the Instant Fusion, it's great. It's great going first or second. Like I said, it triggers a Werewolf, so I've never been disappointed playing this card, so yeah, if you want to play it, just keep going with it. But for me, 6 interruptions is enough, and I think the 6 I was for hand traps is enough, and I think the 6 I was playing in my main deck are pretty. I think they're just coherently better. Stop being like Crossout and Talents, right? So yeah, so that's it for the fusions. Going on the synchros, only level 7. This is a standard. You could want to play like something like Meteor Burst if you have the room. Go ahead. Meteor Burst is kind of a cool card to keep extending. There's also, I've seen like certain builds that play Meteor Burst that can just really put out like infinite negates pretty much. So it's like an older build, but I've seen that combo before. So yeah. Level 8s, we're playing 4. So I'm playing Crystal Wing, Chaos Ruler, Borlord Savage, Siegfried. Borlord Savage is new to the army. He used to be in like a lot of my other builds. I cut him for a while for Shen Shen. I found myself the last few tournaments, I don't know if it's just because of the decks that are there, but I feel like in the format, Shen Shen's just not going to be as good as it used to be, because Shen Shen, back when the format was first starting, like after the ban list, whenever we had that ban list before October, I don't remember if it was July or something we had the ban list, or August, but anyways, Shen Shen was really good then because Striker was running around and stuff like that, but I find Shen Shen now, this format, I don't know if it'll be super good. So I'm just playing the Savage Dragon because the reason why is too, Savage is also a card I can go into Calamities with. So if I have Crystal Wing and Savage Dragon, unless they have Droplets or a Dark Ruler, it's just like they're for sure getting locked out of the game. You just don't have this following up next turn, but this stops Imperm, a Chalice, you know, and then this also stops like a Gamma or whatever, right? Because you just care about getting your lockout and then OTKing them. So yeah, that's the boss monsters for the level 8s. Synchro package for Formula Synchron. For Halcyon 5 Axis Formula Synchron, Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity, Satellite Warrior, very standard. This card's just going to be amazing in the next format. And with Trap Decks, or this format, sorry, it's not next format, we're in October, so because this just locks out pretty well every deck. And if you do play against a trap deck, you have Satellite Warrior, which pops all of them, and then they just have no traps on their next turn unless you're playing against Eldritch, which you don't really care too much because you're able to just kind of stop the follow up. So yeah, going on to the links: Hulk, Cross Sheep, and Boral Sword, another ulti Hulk, Secret Cross Sheep, and the gold Boral Sword, pretty nice. This is standard. This and this is standard, and then Boral Sword is just an auto win for a lot of games. I think you have to play Boral Sword just because it outs so many games. Always has been like one of the best cards in the extra. I'll never cut it. So it steals games. So any card that steals games, you should play for sure. And the last tech card I'm playing, Duo Don King Kali Yuga. Sorry. So I'm playing Kali Yuga because I feel like trap decks are going to be around. And I feel like this card might find its way back into this deck. I'm just kind of testing with it, but I really feel like this card's going to find its way back into the deck because a lot of people have access to Invoke Dogmatica now. A lot of people are picking up that trap decks are good. And like I said, since the Megatons have reprinted stuff, a lot of people are playing the Dogmatica package. And you see a bunch of trap decks running around now, right? So I feel like Kali Yuga is just a good toolbox card to have. I did have the one slot. I decided to sacrifice the restrict for this, and I think it's going to be working wonders. Just being able to clear my opponent's back row and having my own follow-up on the next turn. I think Kali Yuga is definitely going to deserve its spot back into the deck. I'm looking forward to playing this card, and it never failed me before, so it gets you out of sticky situations since his effect doesn't activate. So like his on-summon effect. So yeah. So that's 15 cards. That is my extra deck. Let's move to the side deck. So the side deck's kind of random, but it kind of makes sense. I'm going to show you the side deck just because I can tell you like why I'm playing certain ratios and how Crossout is affecting those ratios. So the only three of I'm playing is Phantasme. Phantasme I think is just great. You could main deck this card if you really wanted to. The only thing is Virtual World I think is going to be one of the best decks this format. So that's probably why I'd stay away from maining this if you can't afford to, because DDD doesn't really want to see a card that's useless in their hand. They want to have maximum utilization of their hand, including combo pieces. So if you're playing against Virtual World, this card's just dead. But other than that, this card's great because it just gives you, it's just great against like any deck other than Virtual World pretty much, or trap decks. So yeah, I think this is just a standard 3. I don't have to explain it too much. It also gives you a level 8 synchro on your follow-up if you really want. And the cards to draw into off Phantasme are Dark Ruler No More and Nibiru. So I'm just playing one Nibiru because I already have one in the main, so I'm playing 2 and double Ruler. So basically like usually these cards are effective against any deck that link summons, so Phantasme will just help me dig for these. That's why I'm just playing 2 of them and I only have room for it. So the cool thing with Dark Ruler is that even though like we can already turn off a Dark Ruler Siegfried if we like flip like a quick play or a trap card, because we can then respawn with a monster. This is a really easy way. You can just turn it off. They activate that. You just activate. It's another Crossout target, right? Like Crossout shuts a Dark Ruler and possibly droplets. If they don't send a spell, then you can negate it with a. You can negate the droplets by sending droplets if you own it. Droplets doesn't do this deck too good because you're kind of just nagging a lot. So a lot of people I think are going to be sticking to using Dark Ruler. So I'm just going to play Dark Ruler, and then it's also a card, like I said, I can turn off with Designator and just not. Then I'll probably just auto win from there, right? Because Dark Ruler is the only way to out the board sometimes. So yeah, if they don't have droplets, right? So that's why I'm playing the 2. So back row removal, double evenly, red reboot, feather duster. I unfortunately only have room for 2. I'd play 3 evenly because it's just a great card, but I think this is enough main deck in the Orthros, also having access to Kali Yuga in the extra deck. Evenly's a blowout against so many decks like Tri Brigade, Virtual World, stuff like that. And yeah. One droll because it's just a target. I can search it too, right? And it's a card I can lose to. And it's just another card I can throw in for like with alongside Dark Rulers and stuff against the Drytron matchup. I have other cards for the matchup too, so just having the one there is pretty good. Crossout, it saves me like having Crossout. I can just use Crossout to get rid of this. Can also search it off of a Wereothel, so yeah, that's why I'm just playing one. Playing Double Contact C, Double Retaliating C. So I decided to give Retaliating C a try because I think it's going to be good going forward. I think people are going to start playing certain decks like Despia, Invoke, stuff like that. But this is also good against Virtual World and Drytron. So Virtual World, if they activate a Kowloon, the second they activate Kowloon, you can just drop Retaliating C and they just can't play because everything gets banished. It's also level 4, so if you draw something like Orthros, you can just make a Synchro into right away into the level 8 guy, the Dragon. So yeah, if you draw Orthros, but yeah, being level 4 is pretty cool, but it's also just a Cross Sheep. You can just normal summon a card and just link it off for a Cross Sheep. So yeah, really cool. I think Retaliating C is a great card to give a shot. I think it's really good against a lot of decks, so I'm just giving this a shot. And then Double Contact C because this stops Tri-Brigade from playing. You just summon it once they summon their Link monster. They're locked into using their own materials or whatever, and they can't summon anything, so yeah. So yeah, that is the deck, guys. I hope you guys liked it. That was like a fairly long deck profile, just because like I was kind of like explaining why I'm playing certain ratios, why I'm playing like why I switched up like playing Desires. Like I decided to go like the Akara package and like the Jack in the Hands over the Desires and Allure. Allure is a good card in this deck, but I think if you play 3 and you have like your Crossout targets with like Adhara, there's a lot of cards you'll see that are dark, and you might just end up banishing a card you need. So I don't think this build wants to play Alert. I think the way I have it now is consistent, like very consistent still, and it works really well, like turning off certain cards. Like Designator is just a great card for this deck. I'm not sure if it's going to be super healthy for the format, but regardless, we have more answers. We finally have a way to stop Nibiru, so this is it. Yeah, guys, so I hope you guys like that deck profile, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.